My boy. That's my boy.
Calm down.
That's like my real father.
He also.
What's up? It's the Mad Titan himself, Travis Elliott.
Michael Elliott.
And your boy, Lavar Elliott.
And this is Elliott Views.
We are coming here today to talk about one of the greatest movies out right now, possibly one of the greatest movies to hit the scene, and is completely destroying the box office right now. Just destroying the box office right now. Of course, you guys should know this movie is Avengers Endgame. We want to come to you today. We want to talk about how we feel about the movie, what's led up to this great moment for us to want to go ahead and see it. We've seen it a couple times. I know I've seen it twice. I don't know.
I only got a chance to see it one time.
Okay, so apparently they're not as big a fan as I am. But I saw it twice. They saw it once apiece, but that's okay. So we're going to talk to you about that today. But before we begin, I do want to just cover some things real quick. From both of you, I do want to know who is your favorite Avenger? Actually, favorite character in the MCU. And then in addition to that, which is your favorite movie leading up to Endgame for us?
All right, let me start it off.
Okay.
Well, since at first you said favorite Avenger, I'm going with I can't say I got to give him an honorable mention.
Okay.
I think people always sleeping on my dude.
Okay.
Hawkeye.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
He doesn't have any superpowers, but he's still getting after it every time.
Okay.
Say you don't.
Okay. No, I'm with you. Hawkeye is a good guy. He's my guy. He's stand up. I get him. He did some different things, I think, in Endgame. So that's a whole different topic to talk on.
We'll talk about that later.
But I can feel that.
Skill and not to have superhuman powers. Yes. All right. But my favorite character, period.
In MCU?
King Thanos. Period.
There's no surprise. No surprise for this man right here. No surprise.
Gang.
No surprise right here. Okay. Mike.
All right, so I have to give it for my favorite character. Would have to go to Captain America. I think he's the most well-rounded character out of the whole MCU universe, and I think that he's the one that actually carried the whole universe as a whole. So I enjoyed watching the Captain America come through from the first Avenger all the way to the Endgame. My favorite movie, I know y'all laugh at me all the time, but it's Ragnarok. And that's because I'm kind of a goofy person by nature, but I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun watching Ragnarok, especially if you compare it against the other 2, I think, or 3 Thor movies. By far, I think Ragnarok was my favorite one.
Before I answer, I want to throw something in there. Something I did not realize until I just saw Endgame. I've never seen, what was it, Dark World? Thor? I never saw the second one.
I didn't see the whole one.
I didn't see it. I don't know how I missed it, but somehow I'm watching the movie and I'm seeing some things like, wait a minute, when did that happen?
The other night, yeah.
Yeah. I never saw that one.
I think that was the best Thor. 1 and 2 is the best Thor movie.
I don't know.
Thor is a good character overall. I think he's good, but Ragnarok was mine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Goofy movie, man.
So for me,
comedy.
Favorite would have to. I have to co-sign my older brother here. Captain America, that's my guy. From day one, first time I saw the first movie, loved it. Okay. He's a righteous individual. He's just an upstanding guy. Everything about him, I think, is really, 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 really just solid. And then he has some nice little statements that he makes throughout the movies where I'm just always like, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. And so because of that, I actually will stay along with Captain America, First Avenger. That's my movie. That is the favorite one. I've seen it so many times. I watch it over and over.
Which one started off?
First
movie was Iron Man.
Iron Man.
And that was the second movie, right?
Right.
Okay. I think so.
Who, Avengers?
Yeah.
Captain America? I think Captain America was third.
Third?
Because it was Iron Man 2, and then it was Captain America, I believe. I believe. I could be wrong. We have to check that. We'll check that.
I'm sure they'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. If we're wrong,
let us know.
Right. Just don't be so harsh, though.
Right.
We having fun down there. We having fun down there, okay?
We are not the comic book nerds.
We are not them.
Basic, average guys looking at movies and just like to see.
These two are nerds, though. They're nerds, but go ahead.
As you were. Whatever. So anyway, now, getting to Endgame. Question that I want to get into. First of all, just give me your overall feeling. Overall feeling of Endgame, and what do you think about it?
All right, let me knock it out. I was pleased.
Okay.
leaving the movie theater.
Okay.
Okay.
I would have changed a lot about the movie, though. Yes, I would have.
Change what?
I would have changed a lot about the movie.
Okay. Okay.
But did I leave, and my $20 that I spent? Did I feel like I got my money's worth? Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. I was about it. It was okay for me. It was definitely not better than the Infinity War. I think that was a better movie out of the two. But I left satisfied. I think it was a great completion of the franchise, I guess you could say, or the series, or this. What do they call it? I think the phases. But it was okay. It was okay. When I like to see my comic book movies, I like to see a lot of action in them. And for this one, the action was a little hit or miss. But it's okay. Overall, it was good.
Did you see the last hour of that movie?
Well, see that we were talking about that
Oh, okay, I was about to
because
say.
I think I know what he's saying with that.
Plenty of action.
I think I know what he's getting at with that because I feel the same way. Overall, great movie. And when I say great movie, understand that what I'm trying to say is I enjoyed it. I thought overall it had a great story. I think the action was enough that satisfied what I needed. I mean, it was a 3-hour movie, okay?
Very true.
But I do agree that there was some things that we could have tweaked and changed a little bit that I think would have made it a bit more satisfying for me to watch. But overall, did I walk away, like he said, satisfied? Yes. Did I feel whole? Like I'm not waiting for another movie? Yes. Do I even care to see the next movies? That's a whole nother conversation to have. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good movie, a great movie. I will say I think it was a great movie. So yeah. So with that, before we jump into the things, I don't know how we want to do this. Do we want to go what we like first, or do you think we should do what we didn't like? What do you think?
Let's just go with what we didn't like first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Didn't like first.
All right.
Do it.
And maybe just break it up into beginning, middle, and end kind of section. So we'll talk about the beginning first.
Okay.
What we did not like.
Okay.
Overall, there really wasn't much I didn't like. It was very quick. So I will say about the beginning, I wasn't expecting them to kill off Thanos that fast. I mean, they really did just jump right into it. It almost felt like when they ended the first one, they just pretty much picked up where it left off at and went right into the action of, we got to go get Thanos. He killed all our friends. We mad. It's time to go get him. So overall, there's really nothing I didn't like about the beginning part of it. I think it was very quick, though, not a bad thing. But overall, I was pleased. There was nothing bad about it.
Okay, and so I'm going to assume when we're talking about the beginning, as far as just to give sort of a gauge here, beginning would be start of the movie until we get to, say, when they actually travel back in time.
Let's say the first hour.
Okay,
That's about it.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So then, go ahead. What you think?
I hated how they played Thanos.
Okay.
All right, so he completely dog walked every one of these Avengers, right? And now, old girl pop up on the scene,
You talking about
put him in a headlock.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and he can't do nothing.
Well,
Now I
he was
understand
weakened
he was a little
now. He was
weakened,
weak.
but Thanos is not only strong, but he's smart.
Okay.
So he would have seen them coming from a mile away.
You think?
I don't think he would have from where he was. I think he's in a different state right now. I think at the beginning of the movie, I think
So
there was
he
not.
was just ready to die.
No, I think he was ready to go, but I think he was in his own state. Because remember, he was on the planet by himself. There was no one else there with him.
Correct.
There was no kind of defenses, nothing there. He was just chilling. He was just chilling at home. And then somebody broke through his front window, kicked in his door, grabbed him.
I think he was
I'm
satisfied.
gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna show you. You guys just explain the Thanos that you guys saw. And
Okay.
at the end of the movie, Thanos, that can't be the same Thanos.
It's two, but see,
He's
we're talking
talking
2 different
the same
times,
Now
though.
we're going to times.
We're talking about
Go
2
ahead,
different times.
go ahead,
2
go
different
ahead,
times.
So
go
I
ahead,
think
go
the
ahead.
reason why is, if I remember correctly from the first Infinity War, he thought that people would be appreciative of him doing the snap, basically. He
Yes.
thought that the world would appreciate the fact that he kind of created balance in essence. And so he thought I could
Balance.
just chill.
need
You know, I completed the work. This was my destiny. He completed work, so he thought I could just chill. The universe is going to appreciate what I did, and I can sit back and kind of be a king, kind of thing.
And then also you have to also remember that I think he really was, his guard was completely down. Because remember, the reason why they even found him was because he destroyed the Infinity Stones. So I think he just thought everything was cool and chill, so he wasn't prepared for anybody to swoop in and do anything. Okay. He was just done. And then, you know, everybody popped in with the plan and, you know, blah, blah. So for me, during that first third of it, that first hour, I guess you could say, I don't know. It got me going to get the flow and everything moving forward. But for me, it was sort of, I don't know. For me, and you guys will find this out just for me. I mean, you guys already know that for me, things didn't really pick up enough for me until the last hour to begin with. Okay, that first hour, sort of got us continued along the way and got us to where we needed to be as far as keeping the flow from Infinity War. That was great. It did shock me, and I guess I should give credit because when he swooped in, they got Thanos, locked him up, having a conversation with Thanos having his heart-to-heart with Nebula, and then Thor goes for the head. I'm not gonna lie, my jaw just kind of dropped like, so who we supposed to fight for the rest of the movie? Like, who's the villain?
I was cut off when he sliced the arm off. I'm like, oh, they kind of serious.
Yeah, they were serious at that point. So
like, why didn't they do that in the last movie?
Oh, that's a good point.
If it was that they was all trying to rip the thing off,
that is a
if
good
it was that
point.
easy just to chop them off, you get what I'm saying? I'm going. I digress. Go ahead. Don't let me get this started.
That is a very good point.
All that fighting.
But we probably wouldn't have Endgame.
Doctor.
Wouldn't have Endgame.
Go ahead.
I got you. Okay, so
let me just say this real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Why didn't Doctor Strange just stop time like he did to Dormammu or put him in a loop? Just loop it. We can do this all day.
So you getting ahead.
Come on, let's go. We said he made it to the Endgame movie.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go ahead. Let's keep going. I'm getting off track.
The reason is because we wouldn't have Endgame. That's why.
Because of the movie.
Because
of the movie.
That's why.
All right,
and money.
All right.
Yeah.
So like I said, with that beginning portion, I thought it was good enough for me. But like I said, it did catch me off guard when they chopped off the arm. Did sort of leave me sort of hanging out there like, well, what's the rest of the movie going to be at? I mean, that was what, like the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie?
Yes.
Right.
It was just like, wait a minute, this is a 3-hour movie.
Right.
So for me, I gotta apologize for all that noise out there. I know you guys heard that. But anyway, overall, I think the first hour was pretty good. Now, moving into the second hour, so that's essentially going into them time traveling because they figured some things out, figured out how they're going to fix the problem, realized, look, we're going to go back, get the Infinity Stones. They had to figure the whole thing out of what times do they need to go back because they only could use one jump per person to get there and get back. Talk to me, guys, because
I love that.
It was cool.
I love that part.
I like that part. I did like it. I like the fact it was kind of like summarizing the whole universe all in one.
Bring it all
back.
Showing us all the old ones.
All the old ones. I'm trying to think of what movie took that same technique. I can't think of it right now.
Looper.
Some movie did that same technique where you kind of bringing it back to, I think it's just Back to the Future.
I was just about to say,
it was Back to the Future. And so I liked how they put the reference
they kept coming
there,
back around to it,
in Back to the Future. But overall, I did like the second hour. I did like the jumping.
I'm sorry. Even though bringing it Back to the Future, the one thing I will say that I just thought was funny in the movie, in that first hour when they were having that discussion about time travel, and then the dude was like, Ant-Man was like, wait a minute, so you mean to tell me that Back to the Future was a lie or everything about Back to the Future? That was clever writing in my opinion. Okay, so I just want to say that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. So one of the things I did like was the humor that they brought into it.
Yeah.
They were talking about Captain America and that's America's behind and blah blah blah. It was very funny.
Yeah.
What I didn't get so much for was just because I didn't see all of Thor, the Dark World. So I didn't really understand. I didn't see all of that movie. So I really didn't understand that part of it.
Yeah.
I missed that movie.
I missed that movie, but
I don't know.
I didn't understand the connection that he had with his mom, and I could see how I didn't realize how serious that was for him. So I mean, I'm going to have to go back and look at the third movie.
And it was the second movie actually. Was it because Thor Ragnarok was the third one?
Third one is Ragnarok, and then it was there's regular Thor, then there was Thor.
The Dark World, I think it was, and then Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
So I'm with you because for some reason now that I think about it, I think I remember seeing I think I remember seeing his mother get killed though. So that's why I'm trying to confuse. Like I really don't remember. Maybe it just wasn't that good of a movie for me. I don't know.
Was the one with the elves.
Yeah, I don't think because I don't remember them battling the elves.
That's terrible.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it
I don't
moving.
know. So, what do you think, Travis, about middle
The
section?
middle was great. I hate time travel.
Okay.
Because you just can't wrap your hand around it.
You can't.
But the way they did it, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Now,
Now I will say I really wish they would have did something with the Hulk. Now I was cool with.
Don't get me.
Don't
start yet.
even
go
go.
on that. Don't
I
start me
was
on that
cool
yet.
with Professor Hulk, but I was very disappointed.
We're gonna talk about that at the end
that-
because
that I was disappointed that
Yeah.
that Hulk didn't get revenge off of Thor some way, shape, or form.
Oh, Thanos,
I mean not
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
I was really looking for a second fight on that.
Yeah, that was the only thing for me actually for the middle because here's the middle section for me going back in time. Everything dealing with Captain America down with it. It made sense to me. Okay, I liked it. I mean, there's some questionable things with the time travel on the back end with him and interacting with people and things like that. Maybe that's maybe that's Doc talking to me right now and meeting your own self and that kind of thing. So maybe I'm just off with that. But that whole battle with him and Captain America was very interesting when he got up and said, "Hey, I can do this all day," and he was like, "Yeah, I know." So I thought that was funny. Once again, being that was my boy. Like you said, when Ant-Man was sitting there talking about that's America's butt. Once again, that's my boy. so that had me laughing. I think this is where, for me, the movie started picking up because, like I said, it got things moving, so we got an actual storyline going. Like you said, it took us back, so we relived a lot of the favorite moments of the thing. The problem I had, though, two things. And like I said, I don't want to get into Hulk really, really deep right now, and I don't want to get into the problem. And this, this is where I think my problem started. For Thor, I wasn't happy with the weight on Thor.
Fat Thor.
No, I wasn't feeling that
cool.
Thor.
Oh man.
Cool.
Like, look, I'm
That was
really.
cool.
I want a good
You like
story.
Fat Thor?
I don't like Fat Thor. Of course, I want the strong-looking Thor, but I thought that was a good to put that in the movie. I thought that was.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
He was depressed.
No.
He was
But
sad. He felt guilty for
he
not.
didn't have to get because no. He didn't have to.
It
No.
was a real Thor.
He should have went to the self-help classes with Captain America to help him out, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, this was the only time in the movie where I was like, man, I hope they don't have him like this for the whole movie, because I need throwback OG Thor to step up and do his thing.
He was at a different stage in his life.
Why didn't he cut off Thor's Thanos' arm with the axe?
Because he was going for the head.
He wasn't going for the head. Thanos said you should have went for the head.
He had to go for the head. He was
Flat out.
going to be going for the head later.
Yeah.
So Thor, Hulk, I wasn't really appreciative of Hulk because we didn't get a Hulk in Infinity War, other than him getting his whooped up on at the very beginning. Then we didn't see him for the rest of the movie. Then he comes back in it, and at this point, it's like, all right, we get Hulk, and I'm like, okay, Hulk's about to do his thing. He's going back. When they told him, and smash some things along the way, I'm like, all right, good, he's going to be doing something. And then he meets up with her, they on the roof, they talking, and what do? Knock him straight out of the body, and we back to Infinity War again.
Yeah.
Where we just talking to Bruce Banner. And it was just kind of like, all right, we still going to play him, but once again, I have hope for the last hour, so we'll talk about that later. At this point, I have hope for the last hour that, look, we're going to come back. And then the only other person I think I had problems with that was just a weird storyline to me, they sent the two mortals, Hawkeye and Black Widow to go get the Soul Stone. Now, when I first thought about that, I'm thinking like, wait a minute. None of them went to know anything about what happened with the Soul Stone when they got it other than where it was at, if I'm understanding the story correctly. Why would you send no superhero to assist in that? Like, someone should have been with them, not just them, to go get the Soul Stone. Now, maybe they knew something I didn't know, okay? So one thing led to another. That's where I feel, for me, it was kind of like, eh. But then I get it for the storyline. It made sense for me. Because at that point, it's like, all right, someone's going to have to die. Whether or not I want a Black Widow to be the one, I don't know. But, we'll see. All right, so with that.
Here's a comment. I want to go back to the time travel. So was Iron Man already thinking about time travel already, or was that something that it seemed like I knew how to do time travel, and it was just like something just happened just like that.
No, because if you go back and look at the movie, he didn't already think about it. They came to him and asked him.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when he then went to the computer. What's he calling that? Fox or something at that point?
He thought
or
that
Wednesday or something?
Whatever it is, but that artificial intelligence, He thought that it was going to take her a long time to figure it out.
Right.
She figured it out that quick.
Like that.
Okay.
So then it expedited the situation.
Got you.
But it did kind of feel like he
tried.
tried to dibble and dab with time travel years ago.
Right.
And he was like, no, you can't do that because...
Right.
And then Ant-Man came, boom, bam.
With the quantum realm scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's get to the money. Let's get to the last scene.
Last hour.
Let's get to the last hour. All
right.
action is.
All right. Let me jump in for this one, okay?
All right, go ahead.
You going first?
This is where the magic happened for me, okay?
Period.
I think anyone watching the movie, this is where the magic began. I have told people time and time again since I've seen this movie, what I wish they would have done is took those first 2 hours, condensed them, took that last hour and expanded it out to 2 hours. So bring that first 2 to 1 hour, the last 1 to 2 hours, give us the same 3 hours. But I need 2 solid hours of an epic battle.
Or at least an hour and a half of an epic
Something.
battle.
No, I wanted 3. I wanted 2 hours. I needed 2 solid hours.
That was an epic battle.
That was.
Listen, I got to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Listen. Ain't nobody more gangster than Thanos.
Okay.
He did a drive-by on their house. You hear me?
Okay.
He did a drive-by on their house, right?
Okay.
Then he sat outside. With his thing in the ground. He sat outside like, I wish somebody would come out here.
Hey, and what was he doing? Playing with the sand? He was playing with the sand or something like that.
Like this.
Like
He was
that.
sitting there like,
He ain't worried about it.
He wasn't worried about it at all.
And you gotta understand, this is the old Thanos, so
down,
he's
calm
still.
down, Travis, calm down.
This is my boy.
Calm down,
This is my
I know,
boy.
calm down,
That's
calm
like my real five.
He also mad he didn't get his Thanos t-shirt.
he really mad about that.
That's for another story. But listen, that was my most favorite moment of the last. How many years we've been watching these daggone Marvel
10
movies?
years.
11 years. Yeah.
Period. He didn't ask anybody to go fight for him. He said, "Look, I'm sitting outside. Let's get to it."
That's very true.
That's very
That
true.
will set him apart from many of the other villains. Like he was out there.
All and every villain you see send all of his minions first.
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
He was in front. Let's
Well,
go.
to be fair, he did send on the one movie. He did send Loki
What everybody
to
is.
go invade New York.
No,
Loki
that was different.
said that he could find a
Hey,
Tesseract.
we gotta watch the
My fault.
it's peaking.
My fault.
It's
We
peaking.
talking about Thanos.
Okay.
When they be like, Chef, yeah.
The people
I'm just talking about Thanos.
People listening right now, like, man, why is he so loud?
Yeah, man, that's my dude. Though. Go ahead.
All right. Well, the thing is, when it comes to that last hour, I mean, it was the epic battle that we've been waiting on. I keep telling people, I mean, there's so many other movies that have been out where you got all these movies leading up to it, then they split the end into 2 sort of movies, and then you watch it. The one, and I know this is probably the wrong movie to bring up for anybody watching this right now, but the example I always give is Hunger Games. Hunger Games, I wasn't a person who loved the TV, the books. I didn't even read them. But I started watching the movies, figured, all right. Then when I got to the end, I wanted something epic to happen at the very end, and it just ended. And it was just kind of like, what? You could have just added that to the last movie and not. It was stupid. So when I got to this is why I'm satisfied, because we got our Infinity War. It led to the Endgame, and then Endgame ended with an epic battle.
It did. That was epic.
Epic battle. And when
he said, I'm on you. What did the Hawk say to Captain America when they popped out? He was like, I'm on your left or something.
No, that was Sam.
I'm saying no. So Hawk, that was Hawk talking to Captain America, because in the earlier movies when they first met each other, Captain America was like, "Pass on your left." They was running past.
Yeah, you talking about Falcon.
Falcon, that's what I said.
Yeah, you said
Hawk.
Hawk. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was a good part to me. It was like throwing a shout out to them. Oh yeah.
Well, see, in that, I didn't even catch that though. But that is where for me,
y'all don't be going deep like that.
That's
man.
when I was
going deep.
I was sitting there watching. I'm just like, oh man, that's when I got my chills. I'm like, wait a minute, who's talking to Cap?
They was squad.
Who's talking to Cap? Especially, hold on. Because I told you, Cap, my boy. We can't ignore the fact
we just jumped over
that Cap was taking it and getting it and doing his thing, and even though he was down, Cap stood up, turned around like he was still ready to take on the war.
No. I thought you was gonna go here. You better tell it with Mjolnir.
Yeah.
We ain't here yet.
I'm about to say
We're not there yet.
Y'all need
Yeah, no,
that
we-
was
I
his
was telling
scene.
something.
No, we didn't get there yet. We didn't get there yet.
okay. I'm about to say.
We're still at the beginning. We're still at the
Okay,
beginning.
all right.
So when he stood up and was ready to still just take on that war with them, I'm just like, okay, that's my boy Cap. Even if he got to do it by himself, Cap gonna stand up. And that's why that moment was so magical to me, because I'm like, oh man, look at him, Cap. He's doing it. Oh. And then when I heard Sam, I'm like, wait a minute. I had completely forgot that they had brought everybody back.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I'm like, oh, snaps. Then the little circle things from Doctor start opening up, and that was it.
Portals.
T'Challa walked in. I got my feelings about him, so we ain't gonna talk about him right now.
What you
But
talking about? You don't like T'Challa? Or you don't think they did it right?
All right, so
All right.
that'll be
It's
another
on-
video.
it's on you, bro.
That'll be another video.
It's on you.
No, I enjoyed the fight with Captain America, Thor, and Tony Stark. I mean, I think by far that was the best action sequence. I mean, I have to give it to Thanos though. I mean, he held his own.
He was getting
And when you look at the Captain Marvel, you know, they made Captain Marvel all powerful, but when she was up against Thanos, I mean, Thanos was powerful.
Yeah.
He was holding his own with the whole battle. So I enjoyed that part very much. What I thought was a little forced when they did the little group of women together. I thought that was an interesting scene when they got all the girls who said, we got to help. I'm not sure who it was, but I thought that I thought that was a little forced, but other than that, again, it was a great movie.
that was a whole different issue.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I think that it really came down to Captain America really just stepping up to the plate. True Captain America, hands down. I can do this all day. I'm never giving up. The power of the will. I mean, Captain America was a man to me. Yeah. That was a person. I know that we had to give it ultimately to Tony Stark
For the finishing it.
but Captain America, hands down.
Okay. What do we think about for the bad side? The bad side.
Worst parts of the movie? Or the
Yes. Yeah. Like,
worst
what is your
parts of the
problem?
end?
It was
Yes.
too long for me, but
Just the end, or are you talking about the whole movie itself?
whole movie or
Overall, like what do you think? Like I guess because we all have our own rating. We all have our own rating. Okay.
Yeah.
What detracted from you giving them a perfect 10, or maybe you gave it a perfect 10? I don't know, but
No,
what
definitely
detracted
get a
from it?
perfect 10. My thing is, time travel is always sticky. It always never makes sense. One, and then two, Spider-Man. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I hate that he's always soft. Spider-Man is just, maybe stronger than everybody but Thor and the Hawk, but they always make Spider-Man to a goofy little boy character. I do not like that. That's not the real Spider-Man, how he rose in the comic. He's supposed to be like a wise guy, but he's super strong.
Right.
You feel me? He didn't need that instant kill thing from Tony Stark, even though I know he
I
had
think
the what's
everybody
name.
wanted to see the instant kill. That's
Yeah,
probably-
Yeah,
I got it.
I was glad.
understand that.
I was glad they
And
brought
two,
the instant kill
basically
back.
stabbing people,
And two,
basically.
Yeah.
and two, if Captain Marvel was so strong, right, where she was at the whole time.
Well, she said that she got a whole bunch
She
of
had a whole-
universe to patrol.
What
Now,
is she?
now here's my
What is
question,
she,
though. Here's
the
my
queen of
question.
the universe.
But here's my question.
Is she the guardian of the galaxy? Or she can do it all by herself.
But here's the question: did you want her in there?
Because it would have been a
What I'm just
situation
saying,
where
I
she
just
would've-
didn't like that she came through and was like everybody was.
Like she was the deciding factor, or not deciding factor, but what got us over the hill, kind of thing.
Not like,
And
I just didn't like that she came through and it was almost like, look, I ain't even need y'all.
Yeah.
And then she pulled up on Peter Parker and was like, hey, Peter Parker, like this Spider-Man.
well, and that's where I will say that was my problem. That as far as the thing that took away.
You
from
got
me.
something for me?
That's what took away.
What
from
you
me.
mean?
This is what took away from me with that particular thing. It's like they ended up running through, as far as the whole thing with Spider-Man, he had all that stuff, blah blah blah, and then, I'm gonna skip over that because we're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into this. All right, so we already at this point going too long, so we need to sort of wrap this up.
Okay.
So let's talk ratings, and what would you have liked to seen different?
I'm going for it. I would have liked to have seen Captain Marvel will not be a part of the movie. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Overall rating,
All right.
it's a yes. I'll drink to that movie.
Okay, you drink to it.
All right.
For me, it was just a little bit too long. That's about it. I think overall it was a good movie. Again, not better than Infinity War. Is that what Infinity War?
Infinity War, yeah.
Infinity War. But overall, it was a good movie. Only thing I would change would just be the amount of time, and maybe some more action scenes as well too.
So let me ask you this though, and I want to get a number from you. What is your rating? 1 to 10.
1 to 10. I mean, like I said, I like the movie. They let my boy Thanos get busy on the whole crew. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5, 8.
7.5, 8.
I was satisfied.
I'm actually 7.58 as well too.
Okay, so I'm an 8, 8.5. I'm 8, 8.5. I actually enjoyed it a bit, good enough. The fact that I think it gave me to a good closure is what gives it the benefit of the doubt. And I think overall it was still a really good movie. Like I said, that first hour, what they did to Hulk, Thor.
We didn't even get on Thought, but we good. Let's go.
Yeah.
We gotta end it anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into another video another time to figure that out. Cause let me just say this. This is one thing about I just gotta say this about Captain America. Let me just say this, and I'll give you my rating. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. I mean, not Captain America, but Captain Marvel. At the end, the main problem I have with her, we needed her at the beginning. Okay. At the end, my problem I have is one, when she flew in and she destroyed the ship, Thor could have did that. That was Thor. Thor did that in Infinity War when he showed up in Wakanda. He flew up, tore up one of those things, and then he went and flew the other one. So why couldn't he do that again? We didn't need Captain Marvel for that. You see what I'm saying? Wow. Two, Captain Marvel went toe to toe with Thanos in a little battle. That was Hulk's battle. That was Hulk's battle. And that's why, for me, I don't see why we needed Captain Marvel at the end of the movie. We didn't need her. We did not need her. Not that I hate Captain Marvel. I have no problem with Captain Marvel. But as far as what we were doing to end this previous phase, we didn't need Captain Marvel for the end of the movie.
Quick,
I like that.
Yeah.
What did Hulk do in the end? All I remember is seeing him run. And
No. He wasn't running. He was
jogging.
because he had that one arm jacked up.
Oh, so he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
I'm about to watch it again.
Other than taking the gauntlet and doing the initial snap thing. That was about it.
That's not gonna work. That left me with a bad taste in my mouth for that part. But
that was the best Hulk ever played.
Yeah.
And then they ended the movie series with him being a wankster.
Exactly.
Hopefully he'll turn around in another Hulk movie. Maybe they might give him his due respect.
It's over with. They don't start making DC movies now.
I will say this, and then I'll give you my rating, and then we're done. But did anybody else not catch this? And it's really funny, especially in the state of affairs of the world right now, okay? And this didn't bother me. I just found it funny when I saw it, and I'm like, man, someone's going to have to pull this. T'Challa. So you got all these people, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, they all got the gauntlet, they doing they stuff and things like that. When T'Challa gets it, did anyone else not notice? They give it to T'Challa, and T'Challa runs it like a football. Did no one else catch this?
Stop it. Come on, man.
Come on. And then to make it even worse, he fumbles. He fumbles. So, I mean, that's just me. I just thought that was funny. I expected someone to say something about that and be upset with that. Me, it didn't bother me, but I just thought it was funny when I saw it.
T'Challa's not an American
football player.
Keep going. Let's go. They play soccer in Africa, bro. That's why.
All right. So my final score, I would say, like I said, was 8, 8.5. Like I said, that's where I take off because of Thor, Thanos, and Thor, Hulk, and Captain Marvel. So other than that, glad you guys could listen, hear our views on it. Tell us what you think.
I'm about to say, leave your views down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And did you also catch T'Challa running the ball like a running back? I want to know.
Whack running back.
Anything you guys want to say?
No.
If we knew better, we'd do better.